So welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. That was the bass boosted remix version of the chants from the movie called The Joker. Hopefully it has set the tone up for our show for this evening. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen, for tuning up. So today we've got some stories, some very good information, and obviously your messages would be the part of our show. You can give us your feedback on 0334 1966 966. You can join our YouTube channel as well. It's Wave FM 96.6. So we have started off the new series. We've started off some podcasting on our YouTube channel, so you can obviously watch my program right after I sign off, and obviously the podcast of the show would be available on our YouTube channel, and you can join and subscribe to our YouTube channel. It's Wave FM 96.6. So thank you very much for tuning up. Your feedback coming up. So moving on to the next number, this is going to be Set Fire to the Rain by Adele. It's the remix version as well for your listening pleasure, ladies and gentlemen. Let's enjoy. Yes, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. That was Adele with Set Fire to the Rain. It's Umid ke saath that you've enjoyed this number at this time of the day. So thank you very much for tuning up. So today in the show, we've got some interesting scientific information relating some of the movies that you've watched. Some of the audience, obviously, they are very huge fan of some science fiction movies of the Hollywood. And there were some few concepts about the science fiction which were later actually moved on and became the reason for some new scientific inventions. So some of the predictions that were used in science fiction movies, those inventions were actually predicted in the science fiction movies. So we'll be sharing some of those movies and that science fiction idea that actually led to some of the inventions in the world. So obviously quite an interesting one as well. But right now we've got some good weather update with us, and right now it's 43 degrees centigrade in Faisalabad with the high of 43, and we've got the low of 26 degrees centigrade. So the around chances of rain is almost like 10%, and it obviously it feels like 43 right now, and the humidity level is 15%. So for tomorrow, the forecast for Friday, tomorrow it's a bright sunny day tomorrow. Forecast for bright sunny day tomorrow as well, with the high temperature rising to around 45 degrees centigrade in Faisalabad. So ladies and gentlemen, obviously we've got some obviously high temperature summer is coming up. Anyways, moving on to the next song, and after the song we'll be starting off sharing some of the predictions that have been made in some of the scientific fiction movies which actually led to some of the inventions in the world. So this is going to be Chris Brown, track called Run It. Your messages coming up on 0334 1966 966. And obviously you can join us on Facebook as well. It's facebook.com/Wave FM 96.6, and I've got my shows page as well on Facebook. You can join my Radio Pulse show page on Facebook. Give me your comments, your feedback. So some hip hop genre for your listening pleasure. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. Stay tuned and stay connected. That was Coldplay with the track called Hymns for the Weekend. And it's a good number to actually listen at this hour of today. So thank you very much for tuning up, and thank you very much for listening. And we are continuing our stories and information relating to the science fiction. Obviously, some of these predictions by the science fiction novels and movies that actually became the breeding grounds for some good new inventions in the world. So next up, we've got the 3D printers, which we use so much these days in our offices, in my obviously homes as well. And it actually, the idea of the 3D printers came from the television series Star Trek again, and as I said, that it got aired from 1966 to 1969. The smartly named replicator created upon demand food and various useful objects for the crew of the starship NCC in 1701, and in 1983, Chuck Hull perfected a machine capable of creating object using the stereolithography techniques, and the 3D printing is now available to anyone who can afford it. So the idea actually came from the Star Trek series. And the next up, another very common things, earbuds that we use so much these days. So the concept of earbuds actually came from Ray Bradbury's dystopian novel Fahrenheit 451, published in 1953, and the Ray Bradbury's novel actually presented us to a society in which books are forbidden. The main theme of the novel was of the story was like the books are forbidden and the technology is used to enslave the population. For example, the Bradbury describes radios that broadcast an electronic ocean of sound, of music and talk coming in on the shore of her unsleeping mind. It was actually a quote from the novel. So it rightly actually described the FM radio these days, because the FM radios and the electronic and the radio medium these days are actually the ocean of sound. Undoubtedly, the ocean of sound of music and the talk, and the music and talk coming in on the shore of some of the sleeping minds. So specifically stating that the devices were worn inside the ear. So this novel actually gave the idea of inventing earbuds. So next up, it's the helicopter. Yeah, it's a very common thing, and it was the concept that actually arose from the Julius Verne, the novel Ruba the Conqueror. It was published in 1886, and the Nautilus was not only actually the concept and the futuristic mod of the transportation. The submarine, which actually we discussed earlier, is to emerge from Julius Verne's imaginations. Helicopter actually also was the one that shows up in his writing. So the flying machine made a marked impression on one young reader named Igor Sikorsky, and inspiring him to create his own version that actually took the skies for the first time in 1939. And Sikorsky actually loved to quote Verne, often saying, anything that one man can imagine, another can make it real. So this is absolutely true. Absolutely. Thank you very much for your feedback on 033419666966. Thank you very much, Adnan Ali, for your text. You said nice show. Thank you very much, and I guess it's the first text you have texted in, so welcome to my show. And I believe and I wish for you to staying and listening to my show regularly. We've got a message from Aisha Malik from Faisalabad. She says, Assalamu alaikum bhai, kya hal hai aapka? Walaikum assalam, bilkul thik thak. Always be happy. May our parents live long. Ameen. And may Allah resolve our problem. Ameen. May Allah bless us with happiness. Ameen. Ameen. Summa ameen. And thank you very much, Aisha Malik, for your text. And there's some very good, obviously, message. And keep on listening to Wave FM 96.6. Thank you very much, Ali, for your feedback, listening us all the way on, obviously, while driving right now. So you're enjoying the playlist. And I've got some new songs in the playlist. So moving on to the next song. This one goes out for everyone out there listening to my show and enjoying my show. This is Major Lazer featuring DJ Snake. The track called Lean On, featuring MO. So thank you very much for tuning up. It's 4:28 on the clock, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, that was the track called Lean On. Hopefully you guys have enjoyed listening to this. Thank you very much for tuning up. Moving on and continuing to our stories and information. Actually, some of the science fiction, obviously, predictions in the novels and the movies that actually went on to become an invention in the world. So next up on the list, it's an interesting one. Obviously, some of the inventions that we are seeing these days were actually being pointed out in some of the novels and the movies earlier. So in 1914, a novel by a British author, Herbert George Wells, imagined that artificial atomic energy, it's relating to the atomic energy, that it would be developed by 1933 and used in a devastating world war from which a peaceful global government would emerge. It was a prediction in his novel by a British author. So Hungarian physicist Leo Szilard read the book in 1932, and he resolved to find out how to liberate this atomic energy. And the answer, a nuclear chain reaction, that came to him suddenly in 1933. And the prediction actually got real. And the novel also inspired him to advocate for arms control and the peaceful use of nuclear energy following the Second World War. So it was from that, obviously prediction from that novel that became the real. Next up, obviously these days we use so many gadgets, and among those gadgets we've got a smartwatch. And so the concept of smartwatch actually was the exact region for the new common smartwatch is actually difficult to pin down, but one of its appearances occurred in D. Tracy's comic strip in 1946. So it was really only a radio, but it's still quite practical. So it actually came from an American comic strip. Obviously it was a radio then, but now it's got very practical, like the smartwatch offers so many different options to you. Anyways, the QuickTime software, it's from the television series Star Trek again, the next generation, that got aired on 1987, from 1987 to 1994. And Steve Perlman, he was actually watching an episode of the Star Trek in which a character was listening to music on his computer when an Archimedes put it, Eureka. So Perlman went on to create QuickTime, and he was inspired from that TV series Star Trek. So, I mean, it's interesting. It's really interesting. Now the credit cards these days, there are so many targets set by in banking industry to their employees for of selling the credit card. So this actually came from Bellamy's novel that took place in a world where physical money no longer exists. So instead, characters make purchases using cards issued from a central bank. This was the concept actually being narrated in that novel titled Looking Backward. It was published in 1888. And not a bad hypothesis for like year like 1888. So the worst universal credit card Diners Club actually appeared in 1950, around 62 years later. So obviously it was something that was not actually being obviously perceived as a practical thing, but after 62 years the paperless money was introduced, the cards were introduced to actually for the purchases and for the payments as well. So these days lots of dependency on the credit cards for the payments and obviously purchases. Next up, it's the video call. It's from the novel Ralph 124 C41 Plus. It was the romance of the year 2660, published in 1925. So they've been appearing in science fiction movies for a long time, but actually we have to go back to this in 1925 to find the first appearance of the telephone, a video telephone capable of making calls over thousands of kilometers. So how many actually video apps do we have these days in telephones? It's uncountable. It's countless basically, and we can't even count them. So many softwares and applications offer that facility of video calling, and these days we do video calls a lot, and it's interesting most of the times. So next up is going to be Walk Away. Thank you very much for your listening. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. You have tuned in to Wave FM 96.6. You're listening to the sound of Umar Sultana. Your messages coming up on 0334 1966 966. So stay tuned and keep listening and keep enjoying. I wish I could forget you. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen, for tuning up, and we're mixing it up with Maroon 5's Memories. 4:30 on the clock, ladies and gentlemen. Our story and information continues on the Radio Pulse show, but we're mixing it up, and we're mixing the song up. Thank you very much for tuning up. Yes, exactly. Memories, bring back memories. We've got an interesting development in tennis. Naomi Osaka, a world-renowned tennis player, she actually has boycotted media at French Open for mental health. And she said on Wednesday that she will not take part in news conferences at the forthcoming French Open, believing that some post-match inquests are little more than kicking a person while they are down. So the world number 2, a 4-time Grand Slam title winner, says she will donate the fines she will accrue to mental health charities. And she announced on Twitter that I'm writing this to say that I'm not going to do any press during Roland Garros. And she actually announced on Twitter She further said that I've often felt that the people have no regard for athletes' mental health, and this rings true whenever I see a press conference or partake in one ear. We are often sat there and ask questions that we have been asked multiple times before, or ask questions that bring doubt into our minds, and I'm not going to subject myself to people who doubt me. Under tennis tournament rules, all players are required to hold press conferences after each match. They also perform media duties before the tournament, and Osaka regularly actually backs out media rooms due to her standing in the sport and her charismatic appeal to reporters. She fields questions in Japanese and English and is regarded as one of the world's most marketable stars. Later last year, she actually made $37 million more than any other female athlete in year 2020. She added on Wednesday, I believe the whole situation is kicking a person while they are down, and I don't understand the reasoning behind it. The French Open gets underway in Paris on Sunday, and Osaka has yet to get beyond the third round at Roland Garros. So actually, I think we should all respect her decision of not actually appearing on the media after the post-match for post-match press conferences. So I guess true to her. Next up, this is Plain White's Hey There Delilah. Such fabulous acoustic number for your listening pleasure, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much for tuning up. You're listening to the sound of Umar Sultan. This is the Radio Pulse Show. Thank you very much for tuning up to Wave FM 96.6. We shall be staying together till 6. It's 4:44. Stay tuned. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. That was Plain White's Hey There Delilah. Such acoustic and good number. I always love playing this, enjoy playing this seriously, and good number to actually play at this hour of the day. So your messages on 033419666966. We got a message. अस्सलाम वालेकुम भाईजान, कैसे हैं आप? मैं हाफिज़ अली हमज़ा साथ वाली मस्जिद से। वालेकुम अस्सलाम अली हमज़ा, और नाइस शो, वेरी वेल डन। बहुत बहुत शुक्रिया आपका अली हमज़ा, और बहुत बहुत शुक्रिया कि आपने वेव एफएम 96.6 चुन किया, आप हमारा शो सुन रहे हैं और इन्जॉय भी कर रहे हैं। आपका बहुत बहुत शुक्रिया। ज़फ़र गुज्जर साहब हैं जी हमारे साथ। अस्सलाम वालेकुम, नाइस शो। वालेकुम अस्सलाम, बहुत बहुत शुक्रिया आपका मैसेज करने का। I've got another message in the program, and it's from Sajdan. She says, English is very poor of you. What mean? So Sajda, thank you very much for texting in, and I respect your obviously opinion, and keep on listening and keep on enjoying. It's a message from my side. Anyways, moving on to the next song. This is going to be Aurora's Runaway. This is the Radio Pulse Show, ladies and gentlemen. You're listening to the sound of Umar Sultan. It's 4:49, and our show continues till 6. Stay tuned and keep listening. So that is Aurora's Take Me Home Where I Belong, Runaway. Such fabulous number, and she has sung this in, I guess, immense... beautifully vocals and well executed vocals, I guess. It could be the last song of the first hour. This is Enrique Iglesias with the track called Hero.